If you've never seen my channel before, my name is Mike. This is Things with Mike. Thank you for joining me. If the title of this video grabbed your attention, it's the #1 way to screw up your life. And it's not clickbait. This is, if you really want to screw up your life, if you want to make an absolute shipwreck of your life, follow this advice. So, when I was a young man, I knew deep down that I was called to some sort of ministry, like a pastor. I went to school for this when I was 18 years old. Learned everything that I could learn, was hungry to learn how I could be the best pastor I could be. Because when I was 8, 9 years old, I thought of how I wanted to be when I grew up. And while most young guys my age were thinking maybe I want to be a fireman or a police officer or whatever, an army guy, something cool, right? Something that we think of. I was thinking I want to be a pastor, because a pastor is somebody who's close to God. A pastor is somebody who is secure in their faith, who can show other people the right way. And really, I think what I wanted to be was somebody who knew the way, somebody who had that sort of confidence. Because even as an 8, 9-year-old, I think I lacked confidence, maybe more so than other kids my age. There are probably a multitude of reasons why that might have been the case, but we don't need to go into that. So I developed a persona, an identity around becoming a pastor. And the people in my life echoed this back to me to the point that it became like an echo chamber. I had no other aspirations but becoming a pastor. And it did form these connections with people. It formed a deep emotional connection to myself in a way, if that makes sense. It allowed me to understand my emotions a little bit better, because I had to learn, what does it mean to be personable? What does it mean to be a minister, somebody who's able to care for the needs of other people? In going down that path, I experienced apologetics, the defense of your faith. So I learned how to argue for what I believe is right. I learned all of these different things about counseling and about therapy and how to talk to people who are at their darkest moments. I learned all of these things and then had a crisis of faith when I was about 20, 21 years old. And I realized shortly after that crisis of faith that I was in no position, and was not going to be anytime soon, to steward somebody else's heart and to help somebody else work through whatever it is they're struggling with. Because I was the one struggling now, with absolutely no direction. Didn't know where my faith was in God anymore, and became very much lost. And then I realized that who I am was the baby in the bathwater, and I threw all of it away, right? What I mean is, I attached my identity to what I thought was my calling, and when my calling was gone, I no longer knew who I was. Who is Mike if I'm not Mike the pastor, right? And the people around me knew me based on what I gave them. That's how people know you, based on what you revealed to them, what you habitually reveal to them. They start to create a sort of identity or a way of identifying you, right? Just like you have a license in your pocket or an identification card. It's their way of saying, okay, you're so-and-so, and you have this color eyes, and you have this personality. So I threw all of that away because I made my entire identity becoming a pastor, being a minister, being a quote-unquote man of God. And when my reality no longer lined up with my personality, my behaviors, when my reality was I can't be this person anymore, but I don't know who else to be, I felt incredibly lost. Had to start over, square one. What am I supposed to do? Started going down this trail of, am I a construction guy? What do I do for work? How do I survive? This all conveniently happened right after I got married too. So now I have a wife, we started having children, now we have three children, but along this path, I'm like adding responsibility to my life, adding all of these things, and still trying to figure out who I am or what I'm supposed to be doing, what I like. I had to relearn what I'm actually interested in. What do I enjoy? What brings my life meaning and value? So what did I do wrong? What I did wrong was I allowed my identity to be wrapped up not in something concrete, but rather in these things that I adorned my life with. It's almost like a materialism in a way. It's like if your whole life is a building and that building burns down, then your whole life just burned down. And my life was based on something that, even though I thought it was rock solid, had cracks in it. And when it fell apart completely, it was this thing of, okay, I have nothing left. So you bet I went through feeling like my life was over. Huge mental health crisis. So the mistake that I made was thinking that I could somehow maintain who I was while being wrapped up in an identity that no longer fit. The fastest way to destroy your life is to allow others or yourself to paint a picture of who you are that's not real, or that you only maintain as this sort of mask that you wear because you like the way it looks. I liked the idea of becoming a pastor, but was it because I was meant to? Was it because there was a divine calling from God on me to pastor a church? Or no. I liked the idea of being a pastor because it gave me confidence. And when it was ripped away from me, my confidence was ripped away as well. If you're in a place in your life where you're struggling to find some sort of direction, where you feel lost and maybe your identity is one that's had to change over the years, know that while the number one way to ruin your life is to view yourself in that incorrect lens, likewise, the way to put your life together is to start asking yourself, what am I good at? What am I sort of called to? The things that I would do if I didn't have to make money, what are those things? And start doing those things every single day. And don't even stop to question, is this what I should be doing? Because if you're automatically doing what you feel called to, or what gives your life a sense of purpose, that question of, is this what I should be doing, shouldn't even be asked. You're already on that path that you're meant to be on. Keep walking one step in front of the other and pivot when necessary. Even though it's something you like or feel called to, don't make it your entire identity, your entire being. Be willing to change direction when you need to. That doesn't mean that you give up whenever there's hardships or challenges, but certainly if what you're doing is anti-you, it's tearing you apart, it's causing you more chaos, and there are more cracks in the foundation than there is solid ground, you need to change direction. And if you don't, then it'll destroy your life faster than you think possible. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you listen to what I'm saying if it's useful to you, and that you'll disregard whatever is not. Thank you. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, and look out for the next one. Thank you.